Hey guys, welcome to the Sunday Sauce with Tolu Kunoga. And unlike our normal weekly live session, I'm doing this as a recorded session because I'm on the road and I won't be home at the time of the scheduled weekly Sunday. But not to make any excuse, so I want to do a recording to still go over a few currency pairs, looking at what would happen in next coming week. All right. So bear with me. It's not a live session. This is a recorded session. Ensure that you go through it to the end because we'll be looking at a few pairs together, and then giving you my take on the zones where I'll be expecting reaction. All right. So let's start with this first pair. Now, as usual, if you have any questions, you can just leave a comment below this video and then I'll do my best to answer your questions. And of course, please ensure that you leave a like, subscribe as well, and comment on this video. It will help the YouTube algorithm show this video to like-minded forex traders all over the world. Okay, so let's start with this first pair, AUD card. Now, we want to start from higher time frame and to take a look at what this guy is doing. All right, so you can see what's going on here. Let's just check out this zone here. You can see that price over here is in some sort of a downtrend. Okay, over here. So on monthly, we see that price is in a downtrend. So overall bias on monthly is that price is going down. All right. If you go to the weekly, right, we are seeing the same thing happen on the weekly. Price is on a visible downtrend, as you can see from here, okay, and then you can see this, and price is retracing into this block of supply here, right? Now on daily as well, what do we see on daily? All right, daily we are seeing something similar here. On daily, you can see here, right? This is the market structure. As usual, like I always tell you, you want to check out the market structure first, okay? And then we have some of these. We had, let's say this, and then we had structure shifts, somewhere here, right? But price, as you can see, is back into a daily supply zone, right? We have a supply zone here, right? And then ultimately, this zone, there has to be a reaction. Price is on a monthly chart, price is an overall downtrend. It is at a point where, let me show you something. This is the weekly chart. On the weekly chart, this is the zone where we should expect, a little bit of right. This is a block of supply here. Okay, so that zone on the price is in that zone on the daily right now, and on the daily we are seeing a block of supply here. The supply zone here. There's also another supply here. Okay, and then on the daily as well, we're also seeing that price is in an uptrend, a bit of uptrend here. So most likely this zone here is what will give rise to the retracement. Okay, and then possibly a possible break of the zone to the downside. All right, so based on weekly and monthly time frame, also daily time, we are seeing supply here. We are seeing price. We should expect price to have a huge dump from here, possibly. All right, so and then another thing that I can also use to know that price might dump is, you can see we are seeing some trend line liquidity here. All right, and then price already took out this liquidity here. All right, and then price. So overall, we should expect a dump from this zone here. All right, so let me go to the 4-hour time frame. When you go to the 4 hours chart, all right, so price needs to have shifted to bearish for us to know that, okay, price wants to go down. So on the 4 hours, what do we have here? Very, very quickly, you can see the trend here, the structure. Okay, price coming up. All right, we're seeing this. We're seeing this. Okay, let me confirm something from my Akina sheet just to confirm some zones here on the 4 hours. All right, so I would pick this zone as a structural level. Okay, let me just highlight that. So here, this, because it's this, all right, and then something like this. Now, ultimately, you can see what price has done. This level of structure has been broken over here, all right. And then what should you expect when price breaks zones like this? Okay, seeing this break, we should expect price to retrace to the extreme supply that broke the zone, and then price already done that on the 4 hours chart. Okay, let me mark that out. So over here, price has gotten back here. So from here, if we want to be aggressive, we can start looking for sell opportunities over here. All right. So to do that, you can go to a lower time frame, like a 15 minutes, 30 minutes. So this week actually that we're going to enter, it makes sense to look for opportunity to sell the market here. Okay. But this is an aggressive way to look for sales by the way. So because right now, price has just given us a signal that it wants to shift. But for people that like to be conservative, you want to wait for on the 4 hours price to create a lower low first. So that's a very, very strong confirmation that the trend has shifted. So when price does this, you now wait for a retracement and then you look for sales, right? But if you want to be aggressive, what you can do is we can look for sales here. Okay, and then to do that, you need further confirmation on a lower time frame. So if you go to, let's say, 30 minutes or 15 minutes, on 30 minutes or 15 minutes, you also want to see price change from an uptrend to a downtrend. Okay, let me confirm something here. All right, so that's good. I'm gonna check something on 15 minutes to just give us a very good zone to we can take entries from. All right. So what we can wait for is you want to wait for, if we are selling, we want to wait for price to trace into a supply level. So it will make sense if price retraces into the zone. This zone right here. Let me change it. All right, into this zone, or price comes back into the extreme here. All right, so if price should do this, can look for sales here, or if price should do this, you look for sales here. All right, so we are selling based off from the story on the higher time frame, from monthly, weekly, daily, 4 hours down to the lower time frame. All right, so this week it makes sense to look for sales when price retraces into this zone. All right, so that is if price doesn't break this lower low here. All right, because if price should break this lower low before coming up, then we have to look for another structure. But right now, based on what price is doing, these are the zones where I am interested in looking for entries. Okay, so let's go to the next currency pair. So let's check out USD pairs, GBP USD. Let's go to weekly time frame. As a matter of fact, let's check out how the dollar index is doing. Let's check out DXY to see how the dollar is currently performing. All right, good. So this is what the dollar is doing. Now, this is the weekly chart on the dollar. And then clearly what we can see is if you've been following me for a while, I gave this zone that price will not come. This was based on a monthly supply level in the past. All right. So we're expecting ultimately price should come here on the dollar. Our dollar should perform. So the dollar should still increase in strength over time. But right now, there's a retracement. And then you can see price is currently at a demand Okay, so right now there's a lot of demand for the US dollar based on the weekly time frame. So if this structure is correct and this actually work, so we are saying this move is going to give birth to the higher high and ultimately price will come here before we see a major retracement. Okay, so if price is in a demand level on the weekly, it makes sense to be on the buy side of the dollar. So for GBP USD, it makes sense to sell to look for sell opportunities on GBP USD, okay, on the long term, because right now the dollar is getting ready to form new highs. All right, so that will help us make good analysis. Let's go back to GBP USD and see what price is doing. On the weekly as well, we can see something very, very clear here. The price is in a downtrend, as you can see, and we can easily highlight a block of supply here, price net supply over here. And then we can see a touch of the supply with this candle. And then we are seeing that reaction, all right? So it makes sense right now to look for sell opportunities on this guy. Let's go to the daily time frame. Okay, daily time frame. What do we have as well? You can see what happened here. Liquidity was grabbed by this into the supply. All right, so if you want to refine it so much, all right, if you want to be very, very conservative, you can look for sell opportunities somewhere here. Okay, this is a refined zone. As a matter of fact, price has even got into that refined zone on the daily. You can see this touch here. So all things that we should look for sells on this guy. Let me go to the 4 hours chart. So on the 4 hours chart, I like to wait for the structure to shift in direction that I'm operating. So right now, our bias is to sell GPUSD, right? Because we are seeing structure on our side. So on the 4 hours, as price shifted to bearish? No, not yet. Why? Because right now, this is the structure of this market. You can see this, and then price is back here, and then price currently doing this. All right, so for price to shift to bearish on GBP USD, what do we need? We need price to break this zone here. All right, this zone needs to be broken. But oops, ultimately this zone is broken. This demand here has to fail. All right, so we need price to come all the way down. All right, then we're going to see a retracement back into the zone, and then this should be a good time to sell. All right, that's on the 4 hours. Now let's go to lower time frame. Now, if we know that there's a cloud of possible sells here, we can go to lower time frame. If you know that also on the 4 hour chart, we're waiting price to come down. What is lower time frame? Let's go to the 1 hour and see if the trend has shifted to bearish on the 1 hour. On the 1 hour, this is what we have on the 1 hour. In a second. All right, can we consider this candle as a level of structure? Let me confirm from my Akinashi. Yes, I'm seeing activities of inside bar there. So on the 1 hour, what we can say is very, very, so we can look at the structure like this on the 1 hour. All right, so we have this move coming up so we have this, we have this, so this now be like a correction, and then we have this, and then price ultimately coming to break the zone. All right, we have a retracement like so. Oops, let's do that again. We have this, okay, uptrend, then we have retracement that broke this level of structure like this. Price giving us a confirmed change of structure, and then you have a retracement into this zone. All right. So right here on the 1 hour, we can enter this move early on the 1 hour. Okay. So over here is an opportunity to look for sells. All right. Over here. So we should be selling, anticipating that price is going to break this zone. Okay, so ultimately on the 4 hours chart, price will break this zone for the trend to change. But if you are taking cue from lower time frame, you get in early. All right, so that's the essence. All right, so over here, if we go to 15 minutes, okay, let's see possible entry that we can have. All right, so over here on 15 minutes, okay, on 15 minutes, makes sense to wait for price to retrace back into this block of supply here. All right, so you can possibly set your pending orders for price to retrace into this zone. So when price retraces into this zone, you can look for sell opportunities and then you sell it all the way down. So this is what I'm going to do for GBP/USD. So it makes sense to just set your alert somewhere here so that when price gets into that zone, you are notified and then you know that what you need to do. So I'm envisaging the same thing for every currency pair that the US dollar is the quote. If you go to, let's go to the Euro USD as well. Okay, let's check our USD on the weekly. So Euro USD on the weekly. All right. So we are seeing activity here. All right. So price has taken liquidity on this supply. All right. So possibly this supply is what price wants to use. This is a block of supply. Okay. This is a continuation pattern supply. All right. So price has tapped into a supply zone. Remember, DXY, the dollar wants to gain strength. So looking for sell opportunities. So this is a supply zone that price is reacting at currently. If you go to the daily chart, okay, we are seeing similar reaction, just like we saw on GBP/USD. You can see how price took liquidity into that block of supply. All right, so that counts for something. If you go to the 4 hours chart, right? So ideally for this on the 4-hour chart, for the trend to shift from bullish to bearish, price needs to break this block of demand here. Let me do that. Price will break this block of demand. All right. So now so you're just waiting for price to break this. Once that break happens, you're gonna wait for the retracement into the supply zone that broke it. So maybe somewhere around here, and then you sell from here. All right. So that's all you wait for on the 4 hours. So let's go to the 1 hour and see if you can get in early on the move. So on the 1 hour, a lot of moves already happened on the 1 hour over here. So I'll just say on Euro USD, I want to wait for price to break the zone. Once that break happens, I'm going to wait for price to retrace into block of supply. Somewhere here, change this. And then wait for it to happen and then you sell. Okay, so that's what I'll do on Euro USD. So it's very, very similar. It's very, very similar to what we have on GBP USD as well. Okay, so let me check out gold for our gold lovers. Hold on, let me arrange my watch list properly for the week. Okay, so let's check out gold. Okay, so what do you have on gold? Let's go to daily chart or weekly chart on gold. Okay, so on gold, gold's weekly chart, you can see that price is in a downtrend, and then currently price is reacting to this block of supply. All right, so we're in a pro trend downtrend move. So here it makes sense to look for sell opportunities. If we go to the daily chart, okay, you can see the reaction, go to the 4-hour chart. We need price to show us that, okay, this bullish intention is weak and then price wants to go bearish. So right now on the 4-hour chart, we're already seeing intention for bearish move. This demand zone has failed. Okay, so price has broken its demand zone. So right now on gold, very easy setup. What I'm gonna wait for now is for price to retrace into this zone here. So wait for price to retrace into the zone. Wait for retracement into the zone. Once that retracement happens, you look for opportunities to sell gold from here. All right. So that's what I'll do on gold. And I want to add my lot on gold. Okay. So gold is on my watch list as well for the week. So we've checked out 4 pairs for the week. All right. So like I always say, you don't really need a lot of trades for the week to hit your goals. Now we already have 4 trades, and these 4 trades are close to their entry. So it makes sense to monitor these trades closely so that you don't miss out on potential setup. So let's just check out one more pair for the week, and then we are done. So these 5 pairs that we will check out are the pairs that we'll just stick with for this week. Okay, so let's check out one more pair. Let's check out Euro GBP, a pair that's not USD. Let's see Euro GBP and see possible moves. So let's go to a higher time frame at the weekly chart. So what do we see on weekly? On Euro GBP, price is in an uptrend. Ultimately, we are seeing a retracement happening. Price possibly needs to get into this demand, okay, before we see the continuation to the upside. Right now, we are seeing some form of inducement here that might serve as an inducement. Okay, so some equal lows here. So possibly what price wants to do on weekly is to break the zone to this, grab liquidity, and then that will be enough momentum to possibly move up, possibly. All right, but we don't know yet. So my bias is that price needs to come back into this demand on the weekly chart. Let's go to daily chart. Let's see if this bias is right. On the daily, what do we have on daily? Quite an interesting structure here. On daily, so just follow me. Let me just start from the beginning. You can see price moving on an uptrend like so. All right. And then we can see a break of the signal that price wants to shift. So we had a violation of that higher low. Price broke it, retraced, price did this, okay, which confirmed the uptrend, the downtrend rather. You can see the retracement into this supply, and then price formed a lower low, okay. Now ultimately, we're also seeing a possible shift. Price is retracing into this supply. All right, but ultimately, so I'll still favor that price is on a downtrend. So price is retracing. Now this lower high was broken, but price is still also in a lower high over here. So you can see that price has retraced into a lower high, and then we want to see price drop over here. All right, so that's what I'll favor with this particular structure. Okay, so this supply zone is in control. All right, on the daily. So let's go to the 4 hours. We want to see structure shifting from bullish to bearish. Good. So over here on daily, on 4 hours, we can see the structure. Good. So what I want to wait for is one price to trace into this. If this happens, if this happens, because what do we have here? Check it out. Don't make a mistake. Let me highlight everything properly. So you can see the move from here into the zone. You can see this, this, and then ultimately, what do we have? You can see price retraced into this demand, to this demand zone here. Okay, this is the demand that I'm looking at. So price retraced into this demand, and then that demand actually triggered and then pushed price up. It came very close to this high here, but this high was protected. So if that happens, that means if price does not break this high, that means this is protected, and then the low is the target. So price did this, right? And then ultimately, what happened? Ultimately, price has now broken this low. So this demand zone has failed now. So that's a signal that, okay, price needs to retrace back into the supply zone responsible for breaking this. All right. So if that is the case, market structure, all right, want to wait for price to retrace. So two things that I think price is going to do over here. We might see price retrace here or retrace into this extreme. So for Euro GBP, you can see price retrace into the zone, and then we see reaction, all right? Or we see price, because this, you can see that as an equal high or like a liquidity here. So price might come up, take out this liquidity into the zone, and then when price get into this zone, we'll look for sales as well. All right, so that are the possible two scenarios that I feel that price might make on Euro GBP. But this will become clear as the week unfolds, as market unfolds. Okay, so we have 5 pairs for the week. I think that's enough that you can look at. We have AD card, Euro USD, GBP USD, gold, USDP, right? So monitor these 5 pairs for the week. Trust me, you'll see something to trade this week. Okay, so this week is looking like a week whereby we see a lot of market moves. All right, so ensure that you are focused, concentrate, don't miss setups. Okay, don't be in a rush. Very, very important. Only take perfect setups, and these are setups that align with your trading strategy, and at the end of the day, you come out in profit. All right, so guys, thanks so much for watching to the end. If you have any questions, comment on this video. Remember to leave a like I said, it helps YouTube algorithm. Ask your questions, and then I'll respond to each of your questions if you send those questions in the comment section. All right, guys, I'll see you next Sunday. We should go live next Sunday if I'm not on the road like today. I wish you all the very best in this coming week. I wish you success in your endeavors. Okay, have a remarkable week, guys. Cheers.